All right. Journey update number 4. Um, so I'm pretty much just gonna go over what I have learned since the last journey update, and I think there's three main things, and I think those three things primarily happened in the last week or so. Um, at least I've developed them a lot in the last week. So the three things I learned are mind manipulation, consistency, and self confidence. So when it comes to the mind manipulation, it all it really boils down to is convincing myself to just make the right choice, making the right choice, regardless of who's there, regardless of how I feel, regardless of any of those other things that are just going to prevent me from doing better. So um, I saw this change in making better habits, and just kind of coming up with better tactics to teach myself to do the things that I actually do want to do. And I think a lot of people have trouble with that, but that's okay because if you recognize that and you work to fix or change that, you're going to find that you're not only happier, but that you're actually fixing a lot of parts of your life. Um, so I'll give you a couple of examples of what I have been doing in terms of mind manipulation, and that just kind of goes into a big thing this past week, which was waking up before work and going to the gym. This was something I came up with because I wanted to start doing what I felt was most important in my life first at the start of the day, getting that done and out of the way, and then doing all those other things that I have to do. Not necessarily the things I want to do, but the things I have to do. Um, and so like it also is kind of like retraining myself to be happy doing things I don't want to do because I know that they're gonna get me closer to doing the thing I eventually do want to do. So like if you don't know already, I want my lifestyle to revolve around me being able to work out for a living essentially, and having my own business or businesses that can support me full time, and and allow me to just have that free lifestyle where I don't have to clock into work and I don't have to clock out from work, and I'm not being told uh, what days I can have off and when to take my lunch and stuff like that. I don't want to fall into a 9 to 5 um, monotonous lifestyle. I I think it's a very rinse and repeat cycle that I see a lot of people have, and essentially it's I'll just take my schedule right now for example, and it's probably the most common. I think I'm not sure, but it's Saturday and Sundays off. Monday through Friday you're working, and 9 to 5, like I said. Um, that's a pretty typical schedule. I imagine for most people, maybe if not more, working more than that, because that's about 40 hours a week. So I wouldn't doubt it if most people actually have to work more than that. Um, but a big problem I have with this lifestyle that the majority of people are doing and the majority of people are taught to do is that it's very restricting when it comes to doing what you actually genuinely want to do. And this is very evident to me now because all I care about is working out. I want to go to the gym every day. I want to be making myself meals to be eating every day so that I can have a cleaner body, and a cleaner like digestive system, like just a bunch of different things that I want to get into, but I don't have the time or even the energy sometimes, and that's not my fault. It's the fact that 9 to 5 jobs dominate our society. Like that's just how this society is ran. Um, I mean, nothing I could really do about that except for what I'm trying to do, which is create that financial freedom for myself to be able to wake up when I feel like it, go to the gym when I feel like it, hit it for as long as I like, and that's just not something I can do right now. But that's what I'm working towards. So where does this tie into mind manipulation? This ties into just right now I'm making decisions that will get me there. So a lot of people will be like, I have this great goal, but I don't really care about doing the part that I have to do in order to get there. So people think that you just think of the great goal and then you get there. That's not how it works. It goes from having the idea, viewing into the future of when you eventually get that goal or accomplishment or whatever it is, and then you go back to where you're at and you realize, okay, well, what's the first step? Okay, so it's studying or it's learning. Essentially, most things you're gonna have to study for. Whatever it is that you want, whatever goal it is, you're probably gonna have to do some sort of studying. You're gonna have to figure out the best methods to get to that goal. So studying comes in a lot of forms. It just depends on what you want. But let's just, so then it takes that first step. So then you learn, okay, I have to do this, this, and that. Okay, well, how do I get started with this, this, and that? Well, then I gotta do X, Y, and Z. So then you start doing X, Y, and Z. You gotta schedule, maybe you gotta schedule your days better. Maybe you have to eat cleaner. Maybe you have to get more sleep. There's just little things that you keep adding into your days that you consistently do, and eventually it gets you to that goal. There's no such thing as I thought of this and now I have it. It just doesn't happen. And so I've been training myself that way. Or I guess I haven't really gone into the tactics that I've come up with, but essentially that's the idea behind mind manipulation, is getting yourself to understand and realize that that goal requires all of these steps. It requires this amount of time, this amount of effort in order to get there. So, and being happy with that, being okay with that, understanding that everything is just a stepping stone to get to where eventually I want to be. So when it comes to the tactics, what do I do? Okay, well, it kind of comes to outweighing how you're going to feel afterwards, depending on the decision you make. So we'll take, let's say after the gym, you immediately go buy fast food, right? And let's say you don't even really hit the gym for too long. Let's just say 30 minutes. You're in there for 30 minutes and then you're out, like immediately. You don't even want to be there. You're just going because you're trying to make a consistent schedule for yourself that's healthier, and you're trying to get, maybe you have a physical coming up. So you go to the gym for 30 minutes, you train, maybe you're on the treadmill for 10 minutes, then you maybe do a little bit of chest, some legs, and then you're out. You're out in 30 minutes, and then immediately you're in the line to McDonald's. You're getting like 2 burgers, 2 orders of fries. Right, well, so you had the decision to maybe not go to McDonald's and maybe make some food at home, right? But you went for that instant gratification right after doing something good, right? So you had the good idea of, let me get healthy, let me do the things that I need to do in order to pass my physical. Just, again, this is just the example. But you immediately counteracted that with going to McDonald's or just eating bad in general. And so you probably feel like, oh, I feel good, I went to the gym, so it's okay. But you got to outweigh those options. Every decision is an option that you have options. So think about, okay, well, how would I feel if instead of eating McDonald's, I make some chicken breast at home? Chicken breast, mashed potatoes, and green beans or something. I don't know. Maybe mashed potatoes and gravy. How about that? Gravy, it's not really good for you, but it tastes good, and considering you're making a good healthy decision, it's not so bad. So you're gonna feel better knowing that, hey, I not only went to the gym, but I also ate well after the gym, which is only gonna progress which is only gonna make me progress more in the gym faster when you eat better foods, versus when you go to McDonald's and then you're just eating food that is bad calories. Sure, it'll fill you up and sure it tastes good, but typically food that tastes really good, probably not the best for you, just typically speaking. Usually means that it's highly processed, the better it tastes, which is unfortunate, but again, that's not all the time. So I definitely outweigh the options on how I'm going to feel after certain choices. I think about it and I'm just like, okay, what's going to make me feel better afterwards? Not now, but afterwards, in the long run. And it always is that better option. There's always a good option and a bad option. There's never really a middle option, but sometimes there are. But anyways, I always just, I just kind of put it to myself like that. I kind of just lay it all out on the table, and I'm like, look, here's the outcome if I do this, here's the outcome if I do that. Which one do I really want? Sure, there's like an easy route, and I might get instant gratification now, and that'll be great, but I'd rather do the hard thing that is gonna make me progress more, make me a better person, or make me smarter. Just as an example, I'll take that route. And that's just kind of what I do for mind manipulation. Just really kind of training myself to see things differently, to not just see things as let me get instant gratification, let me feel good now rather than later. And I think thinking about business definitely taught me that. But as far as that goes, that is what kind of leads me into the next thing that I learned, which is consistency. So it's hard to be consistent. And I knew that from the beginning. So I said, okay, well, I need to use my mind manipulation tactics to continue to be consistent, to continue to upload videos every day, to continue to find and research better ways for me to get content out there and continue progressing on my journey as well. So I've been uploading videos each day consistently for the past week, and I have also improved on how often I can upload. That happened in just this last week, and it really just kind of comes from me looking at the videos and going, how can I make this better? How can I make the viewing experience better? How can I make my message to you, the viewer, better? How can I make it more captivating? How can I be I guess I already said consistent, but how can I have that consistency of uploading enough each day to where people want to come back? They're like, you know what? I already watched a video today, but I'll come back anyways. I'll watch another one. Or you know what? I watched a video yesterday and I see that he has 2 uploaded today. Let me watch both of them. That's the kind of mindset I'm trying to get people to have when they come. In terms of like watching my videos, because I have to think about. I have to consistently get better at making videos and consistently get better at uploading content in order to progress as a YouTuber or progress as a fitness influencer in a way. Although I don't really consider myself an influencer, because I'm not trying to influence people. I'm just trying to put out my perspective, my ideas. I definitely learned a lot this week about consistency. But I don't think I've learned all that I can. I think it's gonna be maybe 2 to 3 months before I can really understand the meaning of consistency. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people say that it takes 90 days to build a habit, or it takes 30 days to build a habit. So I just say 3 months. 3 months, if you're doing it consistently every day for 3 months, definitely a habit at that point. And that goes for pretty much most things, I feel like. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I've learned in terms of consistency. Consistently helps with a lot of things, because I consistently study better ways to make videos, and I consistently study what it is that brings viewers in order to create better content. Because clearly more viewers means that video, something I did in that video, or something about how I made that video was good. Something about it was right. How do I replicate that? How do I tweak it to make it even better or improve upon it? So yeah, just things like that. Consistency. I feel like consistency really does come with time, though. It's something that you can't just say oh, I'm gonna be consistent, and then you're actually gonna be consistent. No, it's got to be something that you have to have resolve for, which I'll get into later. Having resolve for something is a great way to stay consistent to something. So the next lesson I learned is self-confidence. So I'm just feeling more confident in my own skin, knowing pretty much what it is that I bring to the table, given it any field. And it's a very good feeling to have, knowing that hey, no matter what room I'm in, what people are around me, I'm confident. I'm not questioning who I am. I'm not worried about what other people think. I'm not wasting time thinking or not even thinking, but feeling things that are just unnecessary. A lot of so where am I really learning this from? This is being learned by me just going to the gym with the camera and starting to record myself. It's definitely awkward. I mean, it's definitely weird. Like, it's like, people come to the gym and then they see this random dude with a camera and he's like talking to the camera. It's like, what is this guy doing? But then at the end of the day, it's like they're gonna forget that I was even there. Like, they have their own life. Like, they could care less. Like, it's just like interesting for the time being because like you don't typically see somebody with a camera talking to it all the time. So it's just like, oh, they look and then they're like, okay, whatever. But not just that, it's also like I know uh, that I'm happy making videos. I know that I enjoy making these videos, and I enjoy it so much that on my breaks at work, I'm editing those videos, uploading those videos, uh, coming up with ideas, writing down different video ideas. So just and even studying how to make the videos better. That's what I do on my breaks because I genuinely enjoy it. I find it fun because it has to pertain to me working out. I love working out, and creating that content based around me working out is fun. I enjoy it. So uh, yeah, essentially that's where a lot of my self-confidence is coming from right now, because like I feel like you could get self-confidence from a lot of things, but feeling that comfort in your own skin, feeling that comfort knowing that, hey, I am, this is who I am, this is what I'm knowledgeable about, this is what I'm not knowledgeable about, but even though I may not be knowledgeable in every category, every field, that's okay, because if I'm in a room with people who are knowledgeable about it, perfect. That's the room I want to be in if they know things that I want to know about too. Because put me in a room with people that know a specific topic that I have no idea about, nothing, no possible clue as to what it's about, or anything. Perfect. Now I already know what I want to talk about. The field that they're all professionals in. How do you do it? How does it work? Uh, is this something I can do? Is this something that makes money? Is this something that is a hobby? Is this something that is based around emotion? There's a lot of questions to be asked. So I'll never feel uncomfortable in a room full of people who may be more knowledgeable than me about something. Why? Because that's, as long as they're willing to have a conversation, I'm willing to talk about probably their favorite subject if they know so much about it. So I think that's really good for for me, considering like I am gonna be recording a lot of videos like around people who I don't know, and around people who probably don't find it normal, and who probably at the end of the day end up finding it weird that I am even recording again, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, that's pretty much the three main things that I've learned. There are smaller things that I've learned and smaller things that I've talked about in the videos this past week, which I'm sure I'll get more into again this week and from now until the next journey update. And again, I don't really even know when the next journey update will come out. I just thought that I don't work out on Sundays because it's my day off, and I was like, well, I haven't done a journey update in a while. I don't have a workout today, so I won't be filming or recording anything, so I won't have a video to upload. So what do I do? And I was like, perfect, I can make a journey update video. Like, I haven't done one in a while. Like, it's exactly what I want to do. It just goes to show, like, using the mind manipulation, I enjoy doing the things that are going to get me to the goal that I have, aka these videos, and I'm consistent with that. I'm consistently thinking about how can I what's another step I could take, what's another skill I can learn, um, what's another thing that I can bring to the table for my future self. Start practicing now. So right now I'm practicing consistency because if if and when working out becomes a job for me, I I'm gonna need that consistency. That's a tool I'm gonna need to have. I can't just be like, first off, I wouldn't even be able to make it a job probably if it wasn't consistent already. So, I'm consistently in the gym 6 days out of the week. So just little things like that. And then, yeah, so that is pretty much wraps up what I've learned. And I'll just end this with a lesson, a life lesson, as I typically do with these journey updates. And I wrote it down, and it pretty much goes like this. And there is going to be some explaining to do because it's kind of a long lesson, but it goes, when you are focused on bettering yourself to gain something you want, you will naturally achieve more because you now have to force yourself to do things you normally otherwise would not have to. So, an explanation, your resolve to get something done is greater. Oh, sorry, my bad. Let me restart. So, your resolve to get something done, if greater, leading to more satisfaction. Wait, I think I wrote that down wrong. Essentially, your resolve to get something done is going to be what brings you to that end goal, that carries you to achieving whatever it is you want to achieve. If you have no resolve, I mean, yeah, here, I have the definition of resolve right here too. Settle or find a solution to a problem, dispute, or, yeah, so essentially finding a solution to a problem. Your solution, uh, your solution is forcing yourself to do the things that you have to get done in order to get there. That's really what the solution is. Like, you want to achieve something, there's the answer right there. It takes a lot of. Also, I took a little note right here. So it's the note says action over thinking. A lot of times people get stuck thinking before acting, which you need to do more acting or action before you start thinking a lot of times. This is something I noticed that even I've done a lot in the past, where I'm thinking, but not acting. I'm not doing enough acting or action in my life in order to see any sort of change. So you could think of it like this. You're gathering all the resources to do something, right? But then you don't use the resources. You just have resources and they're just there. They collect dust. So it's like there's no point of having resources if you're not going to do anything with them. A lot of people have little resources when they start off, but because they use those resources as effectively as they could, they ended up gaining, way more. They did the best they could with what they had. That's so. A lot of times, like, so I'll give the example of even making these videos. I could sit here and be like, you know what, no, I need like a $800 DSLR camera first before I can start making videos. I need like I need to finish my PC. I need to have like a 4K monitor so that I can edit videos. I need a professional microphone and a cameraman and an editor. Like, I could say I need all these other things that are gonna help me to create the best possible content. And yeah, if you're somebody who can get all of that done within like a single day to a week and have all of those resources, then yeah, that's a perfect plan. Like, do that you're going to be ahead of most of the people that are starting off. But if you're going to consistently, for like a month straight be like, oh, but I need this, but I need that, and maybe you've only gotten one of those things out of the list of things that you are pretty much using as an excuse to not do what you want to get done, then you're just wasting time. So get started with what you have done. The gym will teach you this. If you haven't gotten into the gym already, just get in the gym and it'll teach you a plethora of things. It'll teach you how to have that resolve. It'll teach you how to just start with what you have. Nobody goes into the gym benching 225, squatting 315, and it just super jacked. You don't just walk into the gym like that. You go to the gym consistently, you show up, put in the work, go home, continue to put in the work by getting rest and eating, and over the course of months, weeks, months, and years, you get the results you end up wanting. And that's a huge lesson right there in and of itself, is just, again, consistency, understanding the value of that time that you're putting in. Anything that's instant gratification, typically just not good. Typically, that, like, usually 9 times out of 10, instant gratification, zero, zip zero. You don't want it. That's why things like social media are a waste of time. That's why things like, uh, um, if you're gonna like waste time doing pretty much just anything that's just instant gratification. I don't know. I'm trying to like, you want to go party tonight because you had work all week and it was super, rough or whatever. You don't need to go party to relax. No, no, no. You need to stay home and relax because all week you had work, right? Like, it wouldn't make sense to go party, stay up till 4 in the morning at the club. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? Um, so just things like that. It's just like, you gotta have that resolve. Um, and then also, I'll explain it like a little bit further too when it comes to the lesson. I'll repeat the lesson again. When you are focused on bettering yourself to gain something you want, you will naturally achieve more because you now have to force yourself to do things you normally otherwise would not have. So this essentially, you could think of it as you're gathering those resources to get to the achievement that you want, you're gathering those resources that you can then repurpose for other things. So those are things that you can carry on into other parts of your life, right? So for example, let's say you want to start a business, and this business is going to be helping people how to fix, I don't know, you know what? I have a little rubber ducky. Let's say you just want to make rubber duckies. You want to make a little rubber ducky, and you know, you just want to sell rubber duckies, different rubber duckies. That's all you care about. Perfect. You figure out, all right, what kinds of manufacturers can I get? What kind of designs can I get? How quickly can I get these shipped out? How much do they cost? Am I going to sell online, or am I going to sell in stores, or just online? Like, there's a lot of questions that you're going to be answering, right? And then you're going to also be like, well, how do I market these rubber duckies? How do I distribute these rubber duckies? So there's a lot of things that you're going to be learning, a lot of skills, so that can then be translated into something else. So you know what? Let's say you do all this studying and preparation, and you got your first order of 100 duckies, and now it's time to start distributing, right? And you got to ship them out. You got to put it in a box with some wrapping paper, tape it up, put the packaging label on it, and then ship it out, right? For all 100 of those duckies. Well, I did a lot of fast forwarding and probably skipped a lot of steps in terms of like getting, doing this as a business. But the point is, by the time you get to that point where you're already packaging and redistributing, you've already learned a ton of other skills. You've learned how to order products. You've learned how to design products. You've learned how to market, because maybe you started a social media account for these duckies that you're trying to sell. There's so many skills that you can learn just by trying to get to your goal of, I want to become a business that sells rubber duckies, and I want that to be my business. I mean, there's a lot to have been learned there, and that's pretty much what I mean when I say, like, you're naturally going to achieve more because your end goal is that it's that important, it's that big, it's the big prize at the end. But you have to do all that work to get there, and all that work doesn't just translate into, oh, I just get this now. No, it translates into, not only do you get that, but you get all of those skills that you acquired on the way there. All of those skills are now things that you can use in other parts of your life. All of those skills are now things that you can adapt, change, tweak a little bit. What works better for you? What works better for other people? Maybe you end up becoming a business teacher. Maybe you end up becoming a motivational, like, business speech teacher on social media, online, and you explain how your rubber ducky business brings you an income of over $1 million a month. Who knows? Again, those lessons, those skills that you learned all came from that one idea, that one accomplishment that you wanted to have. So keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about, oh, I have to do like all these other boring tasks and mundane things before I could get my prize. No, you're really not. They're not boring and they're not mundane. Those, first off, they're stepping stones to get to where you want, and second off, you can use those stepping stones once you've already, mastered them, once you've already accomplished those things. So to wrap up the life lesson, or I guess to wrap this whole video, kind of tie everything together, understand that the things that you don't want to do in order to get to where you want to be are the best part. That's really the best part. That's where the learning happens. That's where the failing happens. That's where the getting right back up on the horse happens. That's where all of your experience is going to come from, and that's where all that gratification is going to come from too when you eventually get to the goal that you had set in mind. And it's also part of coming up with that idea and visualizing it and really just creating it. Create it in your mind, and then it'll be created in the world around you. And although on your journey to your goal, you may not have something to show for it at every step of the way. In fact, there's going to be a lot of times where you have nothing to show for. But I've always found that when I took a step back and analyzed, why do I feel this way? I end up realizing that, you know what, I actually do have something to show for it. I have something, maybe I'm waiting on something. This has happened where I'm waiting on something, and so while I'm waiting for that thing to happen before I can continue to the next step, I feel like I'm doing nothing, and I feel like nothing's progressing. I have nothing to show for it, and I'm wasting my time. Happens all the time. And then I realized, wait, I'm waiting for something because sometimes you do have to wait and do nothing. Sometimes it's doing less that will end up helping you out in the long run. It's that one phrase where it's like less equals more. Sometimes that is the case, and you do have to remind yourself about that, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, as long as you remember that, you're going to stay focused, and you're going to be like, you know what, maybe I'm not progressing to the next step, but I'm completing this step first before moving on, before getting ahead of myself, which is okay. That's good. And it even gives you time to really think about that next step and really get prepared for it. Like, oh, well, there's things I need to be preparing for? Is there things that I need to be thinking about in terms of getting prepared for that next step? So that's pretty much the end of the video. To wrap it up for the second time, stay motivated, be positive. Don't get lost in oh, it's been so long since I have achieved anything, or it's been so long since I've had this idea and it seems like I'm not getting anywhere. Remember, it's one step at a time. You gotta, you'll slowly but surely get to your goal. Nothing ever just comes overnight. It doesn't happen. Other than that though, we do the best we can. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to live a happy, fulfilled life. And I'm excited for tomorrow's video. It's going to be back, biceps, and shoulders. I'll be up at 5 a.m. again, and I'll be ready to hit the workout before work. And yeah, hopefully work goes good. We'll see. And I'm excited to continue making these videos and continue to make this a consistent part of my life, and kind of just see where it takes me, kind of see what other lessons am I going to learn, what other tactics am I going to use in my day-to-day life, because I've started this journey to getting to that final goal, that final destination. So other than that, we do the best we can, wake up, put in 110% effort, and at the end of the day, as long as you put in 110% effort, you're gonna see results. So that's all that matters. Without any further ado, I will end this video and see you all in the next one.